Welcome back. This is Linnell Gardner with the State of Sonny Liston. We're going to get into the 1964 Ali Sonny Liston fight, the first fight, where people were complaining that Sonny wasn't throwing his jab. They didn't understand why. They didn't understand why he didn't come out in the seventh round to continue fighting. And there's a reason. And we're going to get into that reason why he didn't come out. Um, again, we're working with the Geraldine Liston hypothesis, stating that no one knew Sonny like I knew Sonny. I was always by his side. All they want to talk about are their lives. So we're going to prove here that again, no one knew Sonny like Geraldine knew Sonny, because she stated that if Sonny would have fixed the Ali fight, Liston fights, she never saw any money from it. So usually when Sonny gets extra money, he showers her with gifts. So let's see if she was right about this. Um, and the Showtime special, Pariah, uh, the lives and deaths of Sonny Liston, they bring up this first fight because in their minds it's fixed. It was fixed. And again, what people don't know about the fight is what Geraldine Liston told me before Sonny before she died in 2005 is that the dumbest thing Sonny ever did was fight that first fight with Ali because before the fight he was working on the drain and he fell off the ladder onto his left shoulder. And the Neon Brothers, his then managers at that time, they uh, kind of talked him into fighting anyway. And that's one reason why he wasn't able to use his jab effectively, and that's another reason why he stopped, couldn't go on in the seventh round to continue fighting. So we're going to look at what happened, and because after the fight, Sonny said he couldn't throw this jab anymore. He felt something tear. Okay, so we're going to prove uh, two things: that Sonny didn't lie about his shoulder, and we're going to prove that Geraldine was right about the fight not being fixed. So we're gonna get into the script of the Showtime special with Pariah, called Pariah: The Lives and Deaths of Sonny Liston. Okay, we have Mike Tyson here. I don't know why he's in this special. He didn't know Sonny. Uh, I guess, because he's a black fighter. He knows how black fighters think, because they've had historians on the show who said all black historians think alike. So I didn't actually say that, but they said they said black people think alike. So I guess that means all the black historians. There was three black historians on the show that said, and their statement was, "We all think alike," and which is a very racist trope. So I think that came from. I think that's why I think they were scripted, because that's something that a white man would say, or white racist people would say about black people, that we all think alike. So Mike Tyson, um, again, I don't know why he's on this show, but I guess he's a practicing mind reader, and he's a practicing psychic, because he seems to know what Sonny thinks. So we'll start with Mike Tyson. I think it was unacceptable that Sonny did not get off the stool. He should have carried on. So now, so Tyson thinks he put himself in the mind of Sonny, like he's some kind of fortune teller. I know he's got that show Hot Boxing, where he smokes weed uh, throughout the whole show. So Tyson, you must be high, man, to be thinking like this. But anyway, uh, so it goes on. If you're heavyweight champion, you die trying. This is another historian from Ohio State. Excuse me, uh, Purdue University. Uh, if you're heavyweight champion, you die trying. But he just kind of sat there. He gave up. Why did he give up? And this, of course, is the mystery at the heart of it all. So they're stating that the that the fight, the 1964 fight, is a mystery because they don't know why uh, Sonny is not did not continue fighting and go out for the seventh round. But I'm going to prove to you that they're just saying it's a mystery. It wasn't a mystery. It wasn't a mystery in 1964 either. They knew why Sonny quit. The boxing commission knew. So we're gonna get into that, and they're just making that up. That it's a mystery. It wasn't a mystery in 1964. It was blown out of proportion again by the media, rumors, suspicion, sensationalism, because that stuff sells news. So we're gonna move on. Did he give up because he was in such terrible agony? Ah, possibly. He couldn't move. Well, maybe he was in pain. Uh, did he give up because he suddenly realized that he couldn't win this fight? Maybe. Did he give up because he had been paid to dump it at some point? So they're just basically just guessing right now. Who knows? Who knew? Who we know? We always knew, but uh, Sonny Liston's mysterious loss to Cassius Clay, Pariah, the lives and deaths of Sonny Liston. So they're basically they're saying so much there. They're saying he was hurt. Again, they're creating theories. He was hurt. Could he have been hurt? Uh, why didn't he come out? And then they said he should have come out. It's a mystery, and we always knew. I don't know what that meant. Um, did he dump it? That's five things. Who knows? Who knows? That's six. It's another who done it. They're creating a who done it for you. So you can think about that in your head like a mystery, like a mystery puzzle. Who done it? It's a who done it. They're creating a who done it for you, for the audience. Uh, so let's find out what really happened. And I'm going to my blog, LenelGardner.com. Uh, and this is the public record states that Sonny was a slave to the Mafia. That Mr. Ali, Sonny, the Mafia, boxing managers, and business partners conspired to fix the fights, and that Sonny was lying about his shoulder injury in the first fight with Mr. Ali. But the official record always stated the facts from the very beginning. So after the fight, Sonny went in front of the press and said he felt something tear when he threw his jab, and that's why he could not continue. Now remember, Geraldine said that Sonny fell off the ladder fixing the storm drain and hurt his shoulder and shouldn't have fought that fight. So Sonny hid that from the American people. Um, Sonny Liston Ali fights. The FBI did not want to open an investigation on the Sonny Liston / Ali fights because they knew that they were not fixed. The FBI felt that the press was basing leads off of rumors, and the FBI did not trust the press. The FBI had just investigated boxing in 1960 and would just continue to rely on its continued wiretapping, boxing experts, informants, and contacts within the Boxing Commission nationwide. Gerstein orders doctors report on Liston's shoulder injury. So the boxing commissioner, I think that's the boxing commissioner, ordered right after the fight an examination of Sonny's shoulder. And this was February 26, 1964. This is the Miami News uh, uh, wrote this story. So the story was out in the public. This that Sonny was going to get an exam about his shoulder. Okay. The Justice Department, even the Justice Department, got involved with this. The Justice Department, in a statement yesterday, Senator Hart hinted that he was less interested in the fighters themselves. That's the Justice Department was less interested in the fighters. That means they could care less about Ali and Sonny. They were less interested in the fighter themselves than the men around them. So the managers and the corner people, stuff. That's uh, uh, that's who they were concerned with. He did not. He did not draw any conclusions. We're talking about the Justice Department, Senator Hart. In the first Sonny Liston Cassius fight, Sonny Liston was not able to come out for the seventh round, complaining of pain in his shoulder. So now we're gonna see if Sonny was telling the truth. My grandmother told me this before she died. What the world does not know is that before the scheduled first fight against Cassius Clay, Sonny was working on his roof cleaning the storm drains, and he fell off the ladder onto his left shoulder, injuring it. His then managers, the Nealon brothers, convinced Sonny to go ahead with the fight anyway, knowing that his shoulder was hurt. Grandma Geraldine told me that that was the dumbest thing Sonny ever did. She told me that the Nealon brothers destroyed their relationship over money. Um, she said that people will fight each other over money, even if it is a nickel more than they had before. Geraldine Liston was an incredibly smart woman. The press and a fighter. The press and most fans did not believe that Sonny was telling the truth about his shoulder pain, and they thought that he had thrown the fight because of the fact that he barely used his powerful left jab during the fight. But what most people overlooked and have forgotten is that this is the Miami news. I mean, like I said, there are news agencies that are legit. I mean, they put out the facts, and then there's this is the yellow kids, the yellow journalism that sensationalized the news. Um, Miami News State Attorney Richard Gerstein ordered a complete report on the medical examination of Sonny Liston, whose torn shoulder tendon lost him the heavyweight crown to Cassius Clay. Gerstein said that the sudden end of the fight, with Liston unable to come out for the seventh round, left me wondering whether what I had seen happen actually did happen. The Miami Beach Boxing Commission held up Liston's $367,000 purse until a team of doctors confirmed that his shoulder injury was sufficiently bad to make him unable to continue the bout. So they took his purse away after the fight. They took it away. And then they decided he was not going to get his purse, boxing purse back until they had a complete examination of his shoulder. They're trying to see if he was lying. They're trying to see if this is the Justice Department. They're trying to see if this is a fix. So here's the test right here. Wires from all over the country flooded the boxing commission today, denouncing the fight as a disgrace and as an insult to boxing. Despite the agreement of eight doctors checked Sonny's shoulder. As to Liston's condition, the commission said it also wanted to have Liston examined by its own physician. So the Department of Justice had eight doctors, and the boxing commission had their own doctors. The commission was to have a special meeting later today. Sonny Liston, the supposedly unconquerable killer. Unbelievable how they would call him that. How can anybody be an unconquerable killer? See how the news, rumors, sensationalism shapes people's brains. People started to believe that. Oh, he can't be beat. He's unconquerable. He's a killer. Twisted. Okay, so following through, twisted. Excuse me. The unconquerable killer threw the punch, and when it missed, the follow through. Let me start again. The commission was to have a special meeting later today. Sonny Liston, the supposedly unconquerable killer, threw the punch, and when it missed the follow through, twisted a tendon in his massive left shoulder. That was the diagnosis of eight doctors this who went over the 7-1 favorite. Sonny was 7-1 favorite with X-rays and other devices for more than 3 hours last night and early today at St. Francis Hospital. After hours of waiting, Dr. Alexander Robbins, chief physician for the commission, reported that the injury to Liston's shoulder would be sufficient to incapacitate him and prevent him from defending himself. The 30-year-old fallen champion suffered the injury to the long head of the biceps tendon of the left shoulder, with the result that there is a separation and tear in the muscle fibers with some hemorrhage of the muscle belly, the statement said. Sonny stated that he felt a tear in his shoulder when he threw the jab. Liston, also wearing 2 pieces of tape under his left eye, where Clay opened a cut in the second round, said he injured himself late in the first round. I tried to throw a left hook, he said in a voice almost inaudible. Inaudible. It missed. I felt something snap. I just couldn't throw a punch, not the jab anyway. My arm was killing me. Both camps loudly disclaimed any suggestion of a rigged match. Put a Bible before me and I'll swear to it, was on the level, said Jack Nealon, Liston's manager. This is not a fix, screamed Clay. I am the greatest. He didn't touch me. I closed both his eyes. A former heavyweight champion Joe Louis commented after the fourth round that Clay is surprising the whole world. A spokesperson for the Justice Department emphasized that the government has no evidence that Liston himself or Katz and Nealon ever split purses with gangsters. So that's the Department of Justice saying this now. Okay, they had nothing on Liston, but he, being a boxer, was caught up in the interest of the mafia. Boxing was their interest. So Barron managed Liston from 1958 to 1961. At present, George Katz of Philadelphia and Jack Nealon of Chester, Pennsylvania, are co-manager of Liston. Liston bought out his contract with his fight manager, Joseph Pop Barron, for $75,000. Sonny Liston was never interviewed by the Justice Department about the fights. There was not even a hearing, a court case about the Liston Ali fights. So there you have it. Why? The question is, why did the public, even with all that evidence, even with the news articles, even with the Justice Department, and even with the doctor's examination, even the fact that after all the examinations, Sonny got his purse back, so that proves that it wasn't a fix. And it proves that Sonny hurt his shoulder. That they gave him his purse back after, because they took it away. Remember, because they wanted to prove that they wanted to find out if he was lying about not continuing the fight. Because if he lied about it, then the fight was fixed, right? But they proved through the Justice Department, the boxing commissioner, all their doctors proved that Sonny wasn't lying. He couldn't continue. So what did they do? They gave him his purse back. So the question I need to ask everyone out there is, why do you still believe that the fights were fixed? There's the proof right there that the public knew. The public had all the information, but they still had doubt. And this is what my book, Beast, the Deconstruction of Charles Sonny Liston, is all about. And that the message from that book, what I tried to say in that book about race, that Showtime, Sean Assel, and everyone in that show, Simon George, screwed up. They messed up my message. And that is that the myth of Sonny is the myth of race in America. How they treat Sonny, what they say about Sonny, is what they say about every black person in America. He just happened to be a champion boxer. He was out in the public. He was a famous boxer. But if Sonny wasn't famous, he'd still be treated that way because he's a black man in America. The myth of Sonny is the myth of race. And I prove that in my book. Read it. Amazon. It's on Amazon. Don't watch the Showtime special. They screwed up my message. They didn't understand what I was trying to say. So there you have it. Another episode of the Sonny Liston story. And again, you guys have to choose. Do you want to believe the hype, or do you want to believe the truth? Because this is a second chance for the millennials out there. Uh, don't make the same mistake that the generation that saw the fights uh, around Sonny uh, concluded. You guys have all the information in the world to find out. You're growing up around diversity. Learn about other ethnicities, right? Go out and experience other cultures. Don't let the powers that be tell you to find your own truth. Don't let the powers that be uh, tell you what's right or wrong, what's good and bad, right? Thank you for listening. We'll see you soon.